Hello, Catherine Parting here, speech and language therapist, to talk about another myth to do with stammering. This is the myth that you should ignore a stammer and not talk about it at all with a child. Now, in years gone by, it was thought that no matter how bad a stammer was, you were not to mention it at all. We think this thought came that maybe it might make the child stammer more if you talked about it. But what we've recently discovered by talking to adults who stammer is that it's actually much better to be open about stammering and about getting stuck on words. It's something we all do. So, for example, when your child is stammering and they're getting stuck partway through a sentence, but they manage to get to the end, you could say, wow, that was a tricky sentence, wasn't it? But you managed it, well done. Or they get stuck on a word and you could say, that was a tricky word, wasn't it? This is a really helpful strategy to use with children because if they do become aware that their speech is different to somebody else's, they've already heard from you that it can be tricky to get stuck on words, and they've got an opportunity to talk to you about it. It's also something you can point out in your own speech because it happens to us all sometimes. This does lead on to one other thing that I want to say about stammering, and this is about interrupting. Now, what we found in research is that often people who have a child who stammers let that child interrupt more often than they would do a child who speaks fluently. This must come from the thought that when that child needs to say something, you've got to let them say it all in one go, just in case interrupting might make them stammer more. The problem with that is the opposite can actually be true. So if we're allowing a child to keep on interrupting and getting their word in quickly in the middle of a conversation between other people, or if we let them dominate a conversation and be the main talker in that conversation, we're really allowing them to put lots more pressure on their language skills than they need to. And by putting pressure on their language skills, they are more likely to stammer, not less likely. So you are really helping your child in two ways if you encourage normal conversational turn taking. One, you're actually going to help them to stammer less because they will take more time to think about what they want to say while they're waiting for their turn. And two, you're going to help them be a better communicator who's good at listening to others and not just being the main talker. Thank you.